Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off this video by giving all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Alright, Lord willing, this will be a edifying lesson. Straight to the point. Isaiah 1, and I'll start at 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had spoken, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Okay. And again, that's speaking of the whole house of Israel, because we all have fallen short of the glory of the Lord. But now in the land of a captivity, there has been a remnant, and through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they have awakened to the truth, okay, to their nationality, okay, to who they are, to who their power is, and how to serve him and worship him in truth and in spirit. So it says here, verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people doth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Okay, and that's the direction that the majority of the house of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, those that have been scattered among the nations, in the northern and southern kingdom, both the majority are going astray, going backwards, in a sense, not turning from their evil ways and repenting and turning back to the Lord. Okay, so they're going the opposite. They're going head first. They're jumping head first towards Satan. Okay, you see, they have feet that are swift to run to iniquity. All right, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. Okay, so again, the Lord basically, he had enough, man. Okay, this is gonna be the final deliverance. Okay, this is gonna be the final deliverance according to prophecy. Okay, you see, Edomites are being revealed. Okay, the MOTB is about to be implemented pertaining to the mark of the beast, the micro C-hip. Okay, the World War III is about to start any time now. Okay, evils and more evils. Okay, that's what's going on the earth, man. Okay, so we know that we're at the last days of the last days, man. The last minutes of the last days, last hours. All right. Okay, so again, when it comes to salvation, those that refuse to turn to the Lord, okay, they'll have to learn after death by pain. Okay, they'll have to be ashamed for a period of time in the kingdom of heaven when they return through the loins of those that believed. Okay, the first fruit, those that once they heard the words of truth, returned and changed their ways, turned back to the Lord, man. Okay, they were fully persuaded that the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai pushed forth by his prophets is the truth. Okay, and once they heard it, they walked in the path of righteousness. Okay, they forsook all and follow after Yahushai in truth and in spirit. Okay, so again, but as for the wicked of our nation, they will be left behind, even to be considered as enemies of the Lord, and will have to be destroyed on this side. Okay, you see, they'll have to be destroyed on this side, because this is the final straw. Okay, this is the time where the Lord is going to bring a great judgment, and those that do not believe is as if they're making the Lord a liar. Okay, but he will bring judgment on the earth. Okay, and as it says, the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So just the fact that you don't believe, excuse me. So just the fact that you don't believe that judgment is coming, just the fact that you don't want to repent, okay, just the fact that you have pleasure and delight in wickedness in this wicked world, you'll be considered as an enemy of the Lord. Okay? Verse 6, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Okay, so and how would you be healed? Okay, it starts spiritually. Okay, by again acknowledging your faults, acknowledging that the path that you were walking was not right. Okay, and turning back to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. Okay, acknowledging your faults and converting yourself to the path of righteousness, as it says, transforming your mind by the renewing, being transformed by the renewing of your mind in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, so according to the Spirit, according to the truth. Okay, believe as the Scriptures has said. Okay, not according to your own vain thoughts, not according to the pastor's vain opinions. Okay, according to what is written in the book. Okay, according to the law and to the testimony. That's how we know that you have light inside of you, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is dealing with you. Okay, so that's the only way, as it says, is the word that heals all. Okay, through the word we are cleansed. Through the word we can attain life everlasting. As it says, the words that I speak unto you, they are life and they are spirit. The flesh profited nothing. Okay, so it says here, verse 7, your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land strangers devour in your presence, and is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Okay, so yeah, we're completely through in the midst of these demons, in the midst of these other nations, as sheep in the midst of wolves. Okay, to be devoured, to be destroyed. Look at the situation of our people, man. Again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, we're through, man. We're the scum of the earth. Okay, you see, we're at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, even if there's some, there is some that manage to do well, that do better than average. Okay, but hey, it might just be that they had to do something strange for some change, man. You know, that they had to forsake their integrity. Okay, that's why it says, do not be envious at the wicked or at the foolish. Okay, because again, you don't know what they had to do, how far into darkness they had to dive deep. Okay, you don't know how deep into darkness they had to dive to obtain their riches. Okay, their corruptible riches. All right. So again, verse 9, except the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai of hosts had left us a very small remnant. Again, just to prove you how important, how precious this truth is. Because again, it is not made manifest unto many, even though it is accessible to all. Okay, everyone will has had the opportunity to hear this truth, and had the opportunity to reject it. Okay, and again, even these other nations, even if it wasn't meant for them, the only thing that they have, the only thing that is that concerns them is the judgment that is about to come. Okay, but when it comes to salvation, all the Israelites have had the opportunity to hearken unto the truth or to reject it, and the majority have chosen to reject it and to walk in darkness. As it says, because their deeds are evil, neither come they to the light, because their ways, their deeds are evil. They hate the light. Okay, they don't want to conform themselves to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. That's why they keep walking according to the ways of Satan. Okay, that's why they're called the children of Satan, because the will of their father they would do. Okay, so again, verse 9, Isaiah 1 and 9, except the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, had left us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So completely destroyed, man. If it wasn't for the Lord predestinating the elect, okay, to always hearken unto him, okay, throughout generations, throughout reincarnations, okay, we would have been through, man. We would have been as the dead, walking among the dead, man. As it says, he that departed from the spirit, from understanding, shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Okay, the Lord has quickened us through the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, through his prophets, and now we have understood the right path to walk, so that we can have a testimony, so that we can have a walk that is pleasing unto Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, so that we can obtain salvation. Okay, as it says, put on as the elect. Okay, make your calling and election sure. Okay, serve the Lord with fear and trembling. And we understand these things, and that's why we do we to the best that we can or as much as possible that is given unto us, to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and to obey unto Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, and to reverence Yahweh Shai as well. Okay, to show respect to Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai. Okay, so it says here, blinded. It says here, Romans 11. Romans 11 and 3. Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars. I am left alone, and they seek my life. That I believe that was Elias. Elias was the one saying that. And it says here, but what says the answer of the Most High unto him? Silak, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men. And again, 7 means completion. Okay, again, in this time is a complete amount of number of individuals who believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, starting with the men, the 144,000, the government body of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, and then the great multitude, the man and woman and children who believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai and have not folded to the temptation throughout the hour of temptation. Okay, it says here, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Again, in this time, to the image of the beast. Okay, bowing down to this wicked system by allowing them, making a conscious decision to have the government implant a microchip inside your body, so that you can be a part of this new world order, this new technocracy system based off technology. Okay, and it says, even so, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. Okay, so again, there's a number of individuals that will not bow down to this wicked system, right? As it says, verse 7, what then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Okay, they were blinded. Okay, again, because they have not been enlightened by this word. They have not been enlightened by this truth. They have rejected this truth. So the fact that so they ended up walking in darkness, and they know not at what they stumble. What they thought was going to be for their own benefit, as in seeking to save their own lives by bowing down to Isa Edom's New World Order, okay, will ultimately lead them to become enemies of Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, which will lead them to partake in the destruction, in the judgment that will soon occur in the times that we're coming into. Okay, anyone that takes the MOTB will be destroyed, man. Okay, and even before that, you might get a judgment, ulcers and pus upon your flesh, man. Okay, just so you know you fucked up, man. Anyone that takes the MOTB, man, you're gonna be left in the sore state, man. Okay, and again, the difference between the elect and the rest of Israel, the rest of Israel were blinded, being led to follow after deception. Okay, they were led, they were being deceived, and they followed after the deceiver. And at the end, both of them fell into a ditch of filled with judgment. Okay, so it says here in 2 Thessalonians, I believe it's near the 10th verse. 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll start at 11. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. Okay. Oh, Salakia. I'll start at 10. It says here, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, okay, in them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Okay, the fact that you did not, that it was not in you to accept Yahweh Shai, okay, that was not in you to acknowledge this word as being the truth, okay, you can never access salvation on this side, man. For this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusions. Okay, the Lord chose your delusion. Okay, He chose, because again it says there's one path, there's one way, there's one Lord. Okay, there's only one path that leads unto the Father, Yahweh. It's Yahweh Shai. So if you try to come any other way, you'll end up being destroyed, man. Okay, there's the straight gate, and then there's the wide gate, and there be many that go into the wide gate and end up being destroyed because it leads unto death. Okay, so there's many ways that you can be destroyed, but there's only one way, which is Yahweh Shai, that leads unto life. Okay, and it says here, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. Regardless of what lie you believe in, you're going to be destroyed. Okay, there's only one truth, and that is in Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. If you come under any other name, if you come under any other philosophy, you're through. You're being deceived. Okay, then and again you're being blinded. The Lord blinded you so that you will not be saved. Okay, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. Okay, if you believe not in the truth, you're damned. You're gonna be destroyed, man. Okay, so that's why we say that these people are walking dead. They're zombies, not knowing that, as it says, she that liveth in pleasure is dead as she liveth. Okay, she doesn't understand that there's a judgment on top of her head, man. She just and she's walking towards it, not knowing what's about to happen. As it says, the prudent foreseeth the evil and hiding himself. Where? In the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, in this truth. Okay, in the sanctuary of faith, in his pavilion. All right, while the fool, okay, who said there is no God, okay, he keeps walking. Okay, he continues his walk and is punished, and that's at the end of the day. That's what's gonna happen unto those that believe not the truth. They're gonna be punished for their incredulity. Okay, so that they all might be damned who believe not in the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Okay, they had pleasure in unrighteousness. That's the problem. They did not come to the light because their deeds were evil. They knew it was evil, but because they were pleasing the flesh, okay, they were serving their own belly. They would rather stay where it's comfortable. They would rather stay away from rebuke. They would rather stay away from reproof, so that they can continue in their wicked ways. Okay, because again, to follow after Yahweh Shai, not only you have to deny yourself, but you walk according to a strict regiment. Okay, there's limitations that you impose upon yourself in order to walk a righteous walk. While when you're walking in darkness, you do as you wish. You do as you please. There is no limitations. You want to be a flamer, be a flamer. You want to be a transgender, be a transgender. You wanna be a atheist. You want to follow whatever religion you want to follow. Do it. Okay, as long as it's not the truth. As long as you don't repent, you're free to do whatever you want. Okay, so that's the deception that comes with darkness. Okay, you believe it's a temporary high. Okay, instant gratification that leads unto death, while the truth, the righteousness is a delayed gratification, but the reward is eternal. Okay, and that's what we're striving for, those that have been enlightened with this truth. Okay, so as it says, but we are bound to give thanks always to the Most High for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because the Most High had from the beginning chosen you to salvation, to the sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. So just the fact that you believe that this is the truth, there's a good chance that the Lord has chosen you to be one of the elect, predestinated you from the beginning of the earth for you to be of the elect. But again, it's a question of enduring until the end. Okay, because again, he that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so you do not want to be a part. You do not want to have a part of the lot of those that believe not. Okay, so the Lord has enlightened you with this truth. As it says, hold fast what you have until Yahushua returns, so that you can have your recompense, so that you can have your reward in righteousness and not in unfaithfulness. All right. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Okay. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.